Namaste, Swagatam. In today's edition of Brihat Mridangotsava, a series of conversations with Dr. Srinivas Jammalamadaka garu, we celebrate the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā of Sri Lallā at the Janmabhumi of Ayodhya. Veritably an Utsava and a deeply significant cosmic event for our Bharatiya civilization, when every Hindu got to welcome beloved Sri Rama to his Janmabhumi with overwhelmed hearts and joyous tears after 500 long years of struggle. Words cannot do justice to the deeply reverential emotions felt on January 22nd, 2024. The entire nation lit up with bright deepas heralding his return with shouts of Jai Shri Rama. The sheer rising of Rama Chetana was palpable to all. Today, we are here to discuss a few pertinent questions surrounding the rituals conducted before, during, and post the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā for the benefit of our viewers and to anchor our understanding of this magnificent event with the wisdom of the Śāstras. Let us learn more from Srinivas garu. About Srinivas garu, Dr. Srinivas Jammalamadaka garu studied Nyaya or Tarka Shastra under Sri A. Radheshama Shastri garu, Advaita Vedanta under Sri R. Mani Dravida Shastrigal, and Vyakarana under Sri Ganti Dattatreya Murthy garu. He has completed the Tenali exams in Tarka Shastra and has also taken the Tenali exams of Advaita Vedanta. He holds an MPhil and PhD in Nyaya Shastra. Earlier, he served as Assistant Professor and Director of the School of Śāstrik Learning, Kavikulaguru Kalidas Sanskrit University, Ramtech. He is the co-founder of Sri Kameshwari Foundation and is presently working as Scholar IKS courses in Siddhanta Knowledge Foundation. He has been conferred with awards such as Tarkaratnam and Vidwan Mani by Sri Kanchi Shankaracharya ji and Shastra Kalanidhi by the Madhya Pradesh State Governor. Namaste, Andi Srinivas garu, Swagatam.
Namaste, Namaste, Kavitaji.
First question, Andi. Can you please tell us, we all want to know, the significance of the pre-consecration rituals? We all saw it on TV. Are these common to all temples, Andi, or do they differ from region to region, or is it specific for Ayodhya?
Yeah. So, I'm also very grateful for getting this opportunity to actually discuss and explore the, the technical aspects of the great event. And really grateful for Parameshwara for giving this opportunity to witness the greatest moment of one of the civilizational moments of Bharat. So before going into the answers and my findings in this quest, I would first like to have a kind of a statement that stating that I'm nowhere personally related to any political organization nor any cultural organization, which is BJP or RSS or the Congress. So, and I do have utmost respect to all the 5 Shankaracharyas, that is the Puri, Dwaraka, Badari, Sringeri and Kanchi Acharyas. And I have total respect towards them. And I have utmost respect to Sri Ganpati Shastri Dravid Guruji, who happens to be my Guruji's, Mani Guruji's relative, and I really respect his Panditya, and I am nowhere compared to him. So these are all to make the clear that I have no lenience towards anyone, and I respect all the people related to this issue. And this is just an jignasu's exploration, that would I say. So yes, as we all have some jignasa, even I do have also a jignasa in these issues, and I'm no expert in Agama Shastra or Shilpa Shastra, but as trained in Shastra, I do have access to all these knowledge and can understand it better than the Pamaras. So I am in
all
between.
Of us. That is why we want you here. Thank you.
So I tried to do some research, get some clarifications from scholars of the Agama, because temple construction and Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, all these relate, they all come from the Agama Shastras, essentially. And they do have a philosophical background also. So being trained in Shastra, that helps me to actually understand the inner layers and even the outer layers of these rituals. So I just will try to answer from this background. So as your question was about pre-consecration rituals and whether all these are common in all the temples or not. So before going into the answer, so first we need to understand what are the kind of temples that we have. So according to the Agama Shastra, so we have Vaikhanasagama, Pancharatragama and Shaivagama to be which are predominant, and whatever is related to Vishnu deity of Vishnu, Vishnualayas. So Vaikhanasagama and Pancharatragamas are followed. And Vaikhanasagama is believed to be the oldest Agama and the glacier of the Ganga of Agamas. So first we need to understand what are the kinds of temples that are there. So there are essentially two kinds of temples. So one is called as Samrita Alaya and the second one is called as Haraka Alaya. So Samrita Alaya is the big temples that we now see, like the Brihadishvara, the whatever the big temples that are built by the kings and people in the administration. That means who wield power and money. So people in power and money, with money, they are actually eligible to build Haraka Alayas, which is a grand temple, which is a grand construction, and even the deities and all the acharas or the utsavas will be grand. So
This
that
is
is
Samrita or Haraka?
This is Samrita Alayas.
Samrita, yes. Yeah.
And then comes Haraka Alaya for people like us, commoners, who are bhaktas, who have a lot of bhakti towards the deity, and they build the alayas according to their economic or financial capabilities and social capabilities. So these are called as Haraka Alayas. So in Haraka Alayas, you don't have much, exploration. I mean, the Shastra doesn't deal much with the Haraka Alayas because not many rules and regulations or intrinsic, details are there in Haraka Alaya, because it depends upon the kind of capability that the bhakta has. But Samrita Alayas, they definitely do have very detailed description of how the deity should be, how a temple should be built, when the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, etc. have to happen, and what are all the rituals and the utsavas that have to be followed upon, and etc. are related to Haraka Alayas. So coming to the Rama Janmabhumi Alaya in Ayodhya, so this can be considered to be a Haraka Alaya.
Okay.
And even after that, as we got to know what kinds of alayas are, and at the same time, we need to know how many kinds of deities or murtis or idols would be there in Haraka alayas. So this has a philosophical relation with the Panchagni concept. So we have a concept called Panchagni and Tretagni. So that Ahitagni, who does a Yajna, will have 5 fires to actually maintain, and or 3. So there is a 5
Grihastha.
and a 3. Grihastha, Ahitagni. So similar to that, in the Agama Shastra, the idol is said to, the word used for the idol is Bera.
Bera.
So we have 5 Beras. So the first one is called as Dhruva Bera or Sthira Bera. Okay. The second one is Kautuka Bera. The third one is Utsava Bera. The fourth one is Snapana Bera. And the fifth one is Bali Bera. So we have 5 kinds of idols. The first one is Dhruva Bera or Dhruva Murti, is the deity or the idol that we see in the Garbhagriha. The Lallā, which we are actually seeing in the main this thing. So that is called as Dhruva Bera. So that cannot be moved. Dhruva means stagnant. So you cannot move the Dhruva Bera.
So the Vigraha in the Garbhagriha.
Yeah, in the Sanctum Sanctorium is Garbhagriha is called as Dhruva Bera. And even in the Garbhagriha, we have other Beras also. That is the Kautuka Bera.
And it is a Bha, not aspirated. It's not Bha, it is Bha.
It's Bera.
Bera, okay.
And the second one is Kautuka Bera, which is actually the most important Murti among the 5. Actually, the Dhruva Bera is not the important Murti according to the Agamas. Dhruva Bera is the representative. kind of a thing.
Mhm.
The Kautuka Murti or the Kautuka Bera is the idol or the deity that takes all the utsavas, all the upacharas, and all are done mainly to the Kautuka Bera.
Is this a small one that they have?
The Ram Lallā that which we have down, So that is the Kautuka Bera. I mean, I cannot say that whether that is a Kautuka Bera. So this is the Kautuka Bera concept.
Okay.
Then comes Utsava Bera. So I can give you the examples with the Tirumala temple.
Yes.
So that will make many things clear. Then we have the Utsava Bera, or we call it as Utsava Murti.
Yes.
So here the Utsava Murti, he will be every Utsavas, all the Brahmotsava, Kalyanotsava, all these Utsavas are done to the Utsava Bera. And then we have Snapana Bera. So there are...
Sorry, Utsava Bera is the one that goes around the temple or sometimes into the...
I'll come to that.
Okay.
Then we have this Snapana Bera. So Snapana Bera is confined to special bath. So we have 108 Kalasha Snapanam, and many Snapanas are done in special occasions. So that Snapanam or bath is done to this Snapana Bera. And then we have the other one called as, the last one called as Bali Bera. So in a temple, in an alaya, we have many other Parivara Devatas along the temple, around the temple. Yes. So if you actually can examine, if we go to any temple in South India, you find Bali Pithas around the temple. So even in the noon and in the evening, a small amount of rice is actually put there.
Yes.
So someone goes with a kagada or fire and one drum beat. Then they put this bali everywhere. So when the bali is done, the bali bera goes with him. Actually, so that is called as the bali bera. And this bali bera, in the 5 bera concept, bali bera is the bera which goes out of the temple. So all the other 4 beras, they will be inside the temple. So they never go outside the mandapas. Even the Utsava Bera is within the Bera, Snapara Bera and Kautuka Bera, they all will stay. The Kautuka Bera and the Dhruva Bera will be most of the time confined to Garbhagriha. The Utsava Bera and the Snapara Beras will be confined to mandapas, and the Bali Bera goes outside. So he is the one normally be seen by the all public. So he goes to the bhaktas. So people say wrongly, right? They say Utsava Murti has come when it goes... No, that is also there. That will come in the Tretagni, this thing. So this is the 5 beras are actually to be maintained in the Samrita Alaya. Okay. So a contemporary example would be the Tirumala temple to understand this. So the Dhruva Bera is called as Srinivasa or Venkateshwara, that the idol that we actually see, have darshana. Then we have Bhoga Srinivasa. If you actually see, we have a silver idol of Venkateshwara. If you very keenly see the painting or the photo, the real photo or the painting, you have a small vigraha of Venkateshwara or Srinivasa, in the Garbhagriha itself, that will be in silver. Okay, so that is called the Kautuka Bera. So that Srinivasa is called as Bhoga Srinivasa. Okay. And then we have Utsava Bera, where the Kalyana Utsavas and all are done. Every day Kalyana Utsava is done. So that Bera is called as Malayappa. So Malayappa, we have many songs on Malayappa. So Utsava Bera of Srinivasa is named as Malayappa. Got it. And then we have Snapana Bera, whose name is Ugra Srinivasa. Oh, like Narsimha, Ugra Narsimha. Yeah, I mean, his name is Ugra Srinivasa. He's used with the name. Actually, all are Srinivasas, but in order to differentiate one Bera with the other, these name nomenclatures come out. Okay. So the Ugra Srinivasa is Napana Bera. The Rupam is all same. They're all like Venkateswara Swami only. Okay. Yeah, but technically they differ. Okay. Yes. Because the purpose of those murtis differ. And what they take as rituals, they differ. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. And Bali Bera is called as Koluvu Srinivasa Murti. Ah, okay. So we do have 5 murtis now maintained in the. So now you get to know what are all these beras and why are these names differ.
This is wonderful.
You know.
Yeah.
So this is the detailed description of the kinds of beras that we have. So all the 4 beras are what you call they can go here and there. The Dhruva Bera is there in the Sanctum Sanctorium. In the 3 concept, 3 beras, that is related, that is similar to the Tretagni. So these all have the philosophical ground in the Tretagni and the Panchagni Prakriya. So in the Tretagni, we have 3 Agnis. In the same way, we have 3 beras, wherein Snapana Bera and Bali Bera and Utsava Bera are one.
Oh.
So we have a Dhruva Bera, we have a Kautuka Bera, and we have a Utsava Bera, which is Snapana Bera and Bali Bera also. And that is why now we say the Utsava Murti comes around.
Got it.
So the Utsava Murti himself will have the duties of Bali Bera and Snapana Bera also.
So takes the baths and it also does the Utsavas and Bali also it gives wherever Bali is given.
Wherever Bali is done, then yeah, it also goes along with it.
Okay.
So this is the 3 Bera concept. So normally the 3 Bera concept is followed as it is easier to maintain 3 idols and because you have to do lot of maintenance to them.
So unless a temple like Tirupati, which is big, and
because they have huge resources and etc. It is easier to. So this is the concept of classification of alayas and classification of idols.
Okay.
And coming to the pre-consecration rituals. So for all these, we have something called as adhivasas. So you have Panchagavya Adhivasa, we have Kshiradhivasa, Jaladhivasa, and Dhanyadhivasa or Shayadhivasa. Dhanyadhivasa is also called as Shayadhivasa. So what we actually do is we immerse the idol in Panchagavyas for one night, then immerse the idol in Kshira, cow milk, and then in water, and then we put it on a plank and cover it with dhanya. Different kinds of grains and etc. for one another night. So these are the adhivasas that are done. Why are these adhivasas done? Because whether it could be if you take the Utsava Murtis, the Kautuka Bera or the other Beras, they are made of metal. And the Dhruva Murti is normally made of stone. So in the process of making that idol, you have to beat it, you have to melt it, you have to sit on it at times. If it is a big murti, you have to sit on it. So these all are there. So you need to purify, you need to sanctize the
Vigraha itself.
Idol, Vigraha itself. So this adhivasas will let go of the doshas that are snapana, tapana, tadana, pidana, and etc. Dosha pariharartham. So that is what is normally said. So that is why we do this adhivasas, and then another purpose, the mundane purpose of these adhivasas would be testing of the idol and idol, because if for suppose if you have to wear rudraksha. So the process of rudraksha, if you go to the Puranas and see how should you wear a rudraksha, so you have to first immerse it into ghee, cow ghee for one night, then immerse in cow milk for one night, then cover it with bhasma, and then you have to wear it. So what happens is, you can actually even practically see, if you don't do this and wear the rudraksha, it will crack within 6 months. If you do this process and wear the rudraksha, it will stay. This rudraksha, I have done that process and I'm wearing it from past maybe 5 years or 6 years.
Wow.
It doesn't break. It doesn't break.
So this is for the preservation of the murti itself.
It's a mundane purpose that we see, not the real apurva purpose.
Adhyatmik or otherwise.
Yeah. So if an idol made of, whether it is a loha or metal or stone, especially in stone, these will actually set the standard of that particular stone.
Okay.
So it will soak, it will take all the water. If there is any problem in the stone, if there is any defect in the stone will crack.
So it's better it cracks before than later. So yeah.
So this will all, and then even after the consecration, you do have periodical maintenance procedures where you put ashtadhatu to it, you put tailabhyangam, you do tailabhyangam, So this is all like doing, maintaining our own body. In the same way, you are maintaining the Vigraha also.
This
So
is
these
during
do have,
Kumbhabhishekam they do. Is this what they do
yeah, I
during
mean, there are
Kumbhabhishekam?
different occasions wherein they
Okay.
do. At times,
Okay.
it's not only on Kumbhabhishekam.
Okay.
It happens periodically every year also.
Uh-huh.
So every year also at times it happens. In if it is where the lingas on Mahashivratri they do it.
Okay.
Even in our home also we can do that. If we have a
Oh.
panchayatana and etc.
Oh.
Even there also, when you put the when you do the Tailabhyanga, then you do Abhisheka with hot water. So it is very relatable.
Yes.
So it has a very materialistic purpose also, at the same time a spiritual purpose to it.
Okay.
So these are the pre-consecration, one of the aspect of rituals that are done. And the other one, interestingly, over a period of time, what happened is in the agamas you don't find the yantra pratisthapana. So normally what happens now is, while you do the consecration of the main deity or the main dhruva bera, a yantra is put under it first.
Yes. Yes.
The yantra belonging to that particular deity. If it is Rama, it is Rama yantra. If it is Hanuma, it is Hanumat yantra. So yantra is another form of deity. So we do have something called as Amurtyupasana, Murtyupasana. So
Yes.
Amurtyupasana is like the Agni, Agni Aradhana, the Panchagni or Tretagni, that is Amurtyupasana. And in Murtyupasana, you have different kinds of Murtyupasanas. So if you take the Panchayatana, so in Panchayatana Upasana, we have 5 kinds of stones. Literally, they are stones. So one is found in the Narmada River. Another one is also found in Narmada River. One is found in the Gandaki River. One is found, somewhere in this down south. Another one is also found in the black, which we call as, black stone in the southern part of India. So these actually 5 unique stones, they represent each deity. So this is one kind of a Murti Upasana where the description or the Murti is not very much evident. It's not like the idol that we see in the
it's not
temples.
sculpted. It is as
Sculpted.
natural. Yeah.
So the other kind of Murti Upasana is the Yantra Upasana. So in Yantra Upasana, Shri Yantra Upasana is very much prevalent. So in Shri Yantra Upasakas, they don't have idol separately. Yantra itself is the idol, is the deity. It's not only deity, it is deity along with its family. And the other one is the Murti or the idol that we normally see. So this practice is an addition from the mantra and tantra disciplines.
Okay.
In the agama discipline.
Okay.
So you see this value addition at times. It happens dynamically. So that is why you do not find the yantra pratishtha as a part of the main consecration. But this is done as a shishtachara.
So this came from Andhra? This
Yeah,
yantra?
this came from a great scholar named Annadanam Chidambara Shastri Garu, who is in in the Chirala, Chirala in Andhra, coastal Andhra. So he is a great upasaka of Rama and Hanuma.
Okay.
So he did around a japa of 6 crore times of Rama Mula Mantra. And he did the arpana to the yantra. So he first invoked that Prana Shakti in that particular yantra, and that yantra was put under. And before putting the yantra, we have what we call as Ratnanyasa, Bijanyasa, and Dhatunyasa. So Nyasa means putting something, putting something. So Ratnanyasa is the 9 Ratnas that we have. The Bijanyasa is Nava Bijas, 9 kinds of seeds. Normally it is said that these seeds also have to be made by, replicated by gold.
Oh.
Gold. And then we have Nava Dhatus, 9 kinds of metals. They have to be also, first they will be placed. Upon that the yantra will be placed. Upon that the Dhruva Bera will be placed. So, and the purpose of this Ratnanyasa, Bijanyasa and Dhatunyasa could be, so this is just an interpretation. So we, every time in all the rituals, we have a concept called Mandaparadhana. So what do we do in Mandaparadhana is we invoke all the 8 deities, Ashtadikpalakas, the Navagrahas, the Trimurtis, and the main deity. So what are we doing in this is we are actually creating a mini cosmos. So what all this represent is the cosmos. So in the same way, this Ratnanyasa, Bijanyasa, and Dhatanyasa, these are the finest outcome of this cosmos.
Yes.
So that is why you put them, so that creating a miniature of this cosmos is part and parcel of a ritual. So that we can actually interpret in such a way. And then over that, this adhivasas are done, and then the the idol is consecrated. And the other interesting fact is, you don't find the word Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā in the Agamas.
Oh,
They call it
everybody in
Kalot.
India now knows Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā. Definitely one Sanskrit word they know, or a set of 2.
Yeah. So it is normally called as Kalotkarsha.
Kalotkarsha.
Kalotkarsha. And the other thing is, normally we heard the word named Nyasa these days related to the Rama Janmabhumi. So what is Nyasa? So that is another thing that we have to know. So we have Anganyasas and Karanyasas to be done prior to each and every particular mantra japa, or even we have something called as Mahanyasa Purvaka Rudrabhisheka. So what are all these Nyasas? So as I said, Nyasa means actually putting something, keeping something, right? So what are you actually doing by Nyasa is, we have this concept called Narudro Rudra Marchajet. So an embodied Rudra can only do Archana to Rudra. So if you are not Shiva, you cannot do Shiva Puja. In the same way, Devo Bhutva Devam Yajet. So this is another thing. You become the deity and then do the Aradhana. So these Nyasas actually invoke the deity in you. So you first invoke the deity in you, then only you do, because you are actually fulfilling the prerequisite of doing an Aradhana, because the outcome of the Upasana or Aradhana is also becoming the deity. So what is the outcome of any Upasana? That is Devatatma Bhavaha. This is what Shankaracharya says. Devatatma Bhavaha means you becoming the deity.
Yes.
That is, you are actually rediscovering yourself, or the inherent potency of yourself being the deity, so by the Upasana.
Advaita Vedanta in action, even if it...
Yes.
Or any Vedanta, you are experiencing.
This will actually periodically or in a structural way lead you to that particular this thing. It's not that the Hanuma or Rama is someone else. It is you, Hanuma or Rama, the deity that you are actually perceiving to be. Okay. So that is one thing in Nyasa. So in Nyasa, what you do? You actually invoke the deity in yourself and then do the puja, and hence Nyasa is very much important. So I think these are the main issues that I think that we have to understand.
It really helps us understand so much. I'm sure whoever listens to this will be the better off for it, because it was very confusing in the run-up to the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā. There were so many rituals going on and it was beautiful, but this helps us understand better. Chala thanks, Andy. One question, a lot of concerns were raised by many people. That one question that I also had regarding that was, can Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā be done in a temple that is under construction? So what is the Shastra's view on this, Sandy?
Yeah. So I can give you an answer with with some examples also. So as we came to know, there are 2 types of alayas, that is Samrita Alaya and Haraka Alayas. So in Samrita Alaya, it is said that you first prepare a Balalaya or a makeshift Alaya first, and then invoke the deity in the idol, and then do a pratigna that in the coming 12 years, I will build the grand temple and then take you there.
Oh, like a transplantation.
Yeah. So you in a makeshift alaya. So what is the prerequisite of any, Kalotkarsha or Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā in a deity is, it should have a achadana. The open, the above, the deity's open, upper space should not be open. It should be covered, and it should have a room kind of a thing. It should have windows and a door.
Oh.
So essentially, a basic description of an adobe, of a place to stay. So that is roof covered, have windows for ventilation, and have a door to open
Like
and close.
It's
like
a
a house.
about
That when you prepare a house, then you can actually do the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, or actually doing Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā is nothing but you are actually invoking the deity and saying that you stay here, I will do everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of tradition that has been followed, that the kings used to first prepare the deity, the main Dhruva Bera and the other Beras also, create a Bala. This is called as Balalaya.
Okay.
It can be a miniature alaya of the grand alaya, or a makeshift mud alaya also, made of mud also.
Okay.
It's not essential that it should be made of stone only. It could be even done with mud. And afterwards, within 12 years, you take oath that I will build a temple for you within 12 years and take you and take you to that particular alaya.
Okay.
If you cannot build in 12 years, then again you have to create a Balalaya, and again you have to do a consecration.
Okay.
So 12 years is called as Pushkara Kala. So within one Pushkara, you have to complete the temple construction. So this is one thing. A historical reference for this could be the Bhadrachala Sri Ramachandra Alaya, wherein the Dhruva Bera, which is now there in the sanctum, in the Bhadrachala Kshetra, actually was found by a old woman. So what did she do? She first prepared a hut kind of a thing with cloth, not even mud. And then a mud hut was created wherein she used to do whatever. So essentially it was first an Harakalaya. Because the ideal was found. When the ideal is found, what you have to do? You have to do this.
Yes.
Then Ramadasa came. He saw that. Then he built the Samrutalaya and took the deity there, took the idol, and again he put it in place. So this is one historical example for that. And the other thing that the Agama say is, now we are actually witnessing many idols coming out of earth. Wherever you are digging, idols are coming out.
Yes.
So what you do when you find an intact idol is, it is said that once you find it, first you take it, put it under a tree and start doing archana.
Wow.
So this is what the Agamas say. So the main purpose of Alaya is doing archana. Bringing people together, doing archana and invoking the deity in yourself. So Alaya is part of it. And the another aspect is, building a Dhruva Bera or consecrating or placing a Dhruva Bera is part of construction of an Alaya. It is seen as you build Gopuram. Gopuram is called as Vimana, or Alaya itself is called as Vimana. So as building Vimanas and Mandapas are part of the whole construction of the temple, building a Dhruva Bera is also part of the temple, part of the construction of the temple. So you do not find specific divisions or specific adhyayas for Dhruva Bera Pratishtha and etc. in the Agam Shastras.
Oh, it's all part of one and the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, which means if it is one and the same thing, you're saying that it can be done later or before, doesn't matter. So
the prerequisite of that is what prerequisite is, it should have a roof.
That's all.
It should have the windows and a door.
And that is there now. So
and by that the construction is not end. No, it's not complete.
Correct.
After the construction, the whole construction is complete. Then you do something called as Kumbhabhishek or Kalasha Sthapana. So whether the deity is totally there in the temple, invoked in the temple, actually is understood by the Kalasha Sthapana. Now, I don't think in North India, many temples, many older temples actually have that. But even in South India, we do have this. When any renovation of any temple is being done, the kalashas will be removed.
Oh,
The main Prana Shakti of those Dhruvabera deity will be transferred into a Kalasha.
oh.
And that Kalasha will be taking, every Archana will be done to the Kalasha, not to the deity. Because in deity, in Garbhagruha, you are all renovating.
Yes.
You're removing the old tiles and you're putting new stones over there and etc.
The
So this
Kalasha will-
maintenance has to be done. So what
Yes.
will you do? You will take,
Kalasha.
for in case you can even take the Yadadri Lakshmi Narasimha Swami temple. So what happened there? So there a Balalaya was constructed.
Okay.
So everything was done in the Balalaya, and then afterwards it was again transferred to the Mula Alaya.
Once the construction
afterwards.
was over. Okay.
So
Wonderful.
this is part and parcel of it.
And this happens. So it is basically even for devatas, like how we do in our house, Graha Pravesham, we go to our rented house and then we come back and we do. So it's something very similar. So wonderful to know
And
that.
another thing, we have something called as Mahabera Nirmana. So Mahabera is huge statues, huge idols, right? I mean, we have this Brihadishwara temple. If you see the Brihadishwara Linga,
Yes.
it cannot be taken from outside to inside.
No. Yes.
That means by seeing that, you can understand that
Was
first
there
a construction was done.
After.
Then the whole thing was completed.
Yeah.
Okay, we have many alayas. Like we have a classical example would be in Kanchipuram. We have two temples. One is called as Pandavaduta Perumal Koil, and the other one is called as Uragatta Perumal Koil. So Pandavaduta Perumal Koil is of Sri Krishna, being a Pandavaduta. It is a huge 30 feet, if I am not wrong. Daru Vigraha. It is not made of stone. It is made of Daru. Okay. So if you see that magnanimous, even if you go under the Garbhagriha inside, you have to see upwards like this. So if
okay.
Yeah, so
it's made of wood. It's a wooden.
Yeah, it's made of wood. It's Daru Vigraha. So you cannot actually bring that after
From
building
outside.
a temple.
Yes.
Even the Uragatta Perumal, it is a Vamana Murti Gudi. It is normally called as Vamana Murti temple.
Oh.
Where the Trivikrama posture, where you have Bali in one way, where upon Bali one leg is there and the other one is over there. This is again a 15 feet or 20 feet Daru Vigraha, which is inside the temple. So these all show that it is part and it is part of temple construction. The Dhruvabera Nirmana is part of the temple construction.
Wonderful. And I love the examples. This clears a lot of confusion that people had. Thank you so much. Another question that we all had is what is the significance of the Anushtana that the Prime Minister undertook as the Yajamāna? What was the Anushtana exactly, and is it same for all the temples? If the Yajamāna, does he or she have to do this whenever there is a...
So maybe the one thing that Prime Minister did was doing Tirtha Yatras, one thing. The other one is about the Upavasa Diksha, that not taking food, I suppose.
So it was for all 11 days, there was no food. We were just curious to know what exactly.
I think that is what is the popular understanding, I suppose.
Okay.
Coming to the Tirtha Kshetra, this thing, it is not a part of the Yajamāna has to be done. I mean, that he has to done before the consecration. It is moreover like a personal, maybe a decision that is taken by him in order to align with the energy or to align, to make yourself concentrated upon that particular thing. Coming to the Upavasa Diksha, what the Agama say is Padakrachram ekahamba uposhya. So you have this thing over there. Padakrachram. So Krichra is a kind of a vratam. Krichra. So Krichra vrata is of 12 days actually. So 12 days, in these 12 days, it is it has very first 3 days you don't eat in the morning, you only eat in the night. Second 3 days you only eat in the morning. The next 3 days you only drink milk, you don't take any solid food, and the other 3 days you don't eat anything. So this is I suppose it's a vague description of what Padakrachra is. So we have different kinds of vratas: Padakrachra, Krichra, Krichrada Krichra, Chandrayana, and etc. So what is Padakrachra? The 1/4 Krichra. So that is 3 days of Upavasa. Or 1 day Upavasa. So that is what I think Govinda Devgiri Maharaj actually said in his speech, that we actually said, Prime Minister to actually have only 1 day Upavasa Diksha, but he took it 11-day Upavasa Diksha.
11 days.
So we only find that Padakarchra, that is 3 days of Upavasa or 1 day of Upavasa, and until the consecration is done, until the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā is
But
done.
Upavasa definition changes, Andy, because in the south, for us, let's say Upavasa would mean not eating at all, or maybe 1 meal in the evening. So Upavasa, what
No,
exactly?
no. 1 meal in the evening is called as Naktavrata. So
Nakta.
Upavasa means not having anything
food
as
at
much
all.
as you can.
Okay.
I mean, if your health and body permits you, then eating nothing is what is Upavasa. If you cannot do that, there are other this thing also. But this Upavasa Diksha is not only for the Yajamāna. For all the people who are participating in the rituals of the Upavasa. So that is
all
why
the couples, everybody who was
everyone, not everyone, every pujari, every purohita, every ritvik, all have this Upavasa Diksha. But there is a very practical clause given there by the Dharma Shastras, that who are participating in physically tedious jobs as part of this Diksha, part of this Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, they can eat something called as a havishyam. So that is rice. Normally nowadays we call it as jeera rice. That is havishya. So that is called as havishyam. So they can eat that, and because Dharma Shastras are very practical. If a person cannot actually stand, how can he do that?
Physical labor.
So it's very tedious. It's very laborious.
Yes.
So that is why this is given to there. So it is not essentially that only Yajamāna does the Upavasa Diksha. All the people who are participating in the rituals, they all do the Upavasa Diksha.
Wonderful, Andy. Good to know that. And some quarters have also raised an issue about the adhikaratvam or the eligibility of the PM to act as the Yajamāna. What does Rajadharma say about the custodian of the state performing this role?
I think there is no need to go until Rajadharma here. Maybe the Agama texts themselves will help us in understanding, because there they give the Yajamāna Lakshana. Who can be the Yajamāna?
Okay.
Normally in the Dhārmika rituals, many rituals, they are confined to a person who is married and having a wife. So Dharmapatni Sametasya is what the word you use while doing the Sankalpa. But coming to this Alaya Nirmana, so the Yajamāna Lakshanam, in Yajamāna Lakshanam, you find this Loka Kshayodbhava Punya Papa Phaladhara Sukhadukha Pravartanam Patni Apatya Dhanadinam Asaratancha Parignyaya Aihika Amushmika Vijnana Hetukam Shastram Jnatva Anyonya Apakriti Hetu Dushita Anumitan Ayudharthan Alpashrutin Vijrumbhitan Adrishtaghnanapi Avichara Peshalan Apohya Shraddha Bhakti Puraskritya Idam Shastra Siddham Karyam Arabheta iti Vijnayate Evam Manase Sanjate Vishnoho Vimanam Chikirshuhu Arurukshoho Padam Vishnoho Ityukta Lakshanaha Yajamānaha. So this is what the Shastra says. So who does not...
I understood Shraddha Bhakti, that's it.
So who understands or who understands the importance of Punya Papa and the cosmos, the functioning of the cosmos based on this Punya Papas, and who doesn't has this worldly intentions, who is not entangled with Patni, Apatya, that is Patni is wife, Apatya is your children, Dhanadina, not interested, not much inclined towards the
worldly
materialistic and all. And he knows that these are all not eternal. Okay. And he believes in the authority of the Veda and the Shastra and the Agamas. And who has the capability to come above the hurdles that are created by the Loka, by the other people.
So literally a sannyasi at heart. Somebody
sannyasi at heart. And who wants to actually have, moksha or Vishnu of Padam is in Vaishnava Sampradaya, it is called as the Vaikunthavasa.
Yes.
He can actually build
Yes.
or become the Yajamāna of
Wonderful.
that, of any Vishnu Alaya and etc. So this actually fits maybe most
It's
of the
more
part.
the inner qualities. It
Yeah,
is
nowhere you find that he has to be married or having
Ah,
a, in
none
this
of these.
particular Yajamāna Lakshana you don't find, but in
Wonderful.
other rituals you do find that you have to be with, for suppose if you have to do an Ashwame, if you have to do a Somayaga, Tiratra, you need to have a wife with you. You need to
That
have a
was my
Dharmapatni.
next question, actually. So the rituals can be performed without a spouse. So this is
Yeah,
not
this ritual,
dharma or
this
something.
particular, yeah, it doesn't say explicitly that this person should have a spouse.
Okay, okay. That is good to know. Because that was another allegation, that he's doing it alone. So
Yeah, this is what we understand from the Yajamāna. So this is the definition of the Yajamāna
Yajamāna.
for temple. So this is from the Vaikhana Saga. So
Wonderful.
that is what we can say. Conclusions may be derived from for people for their own. So we
Yes,
will leave
whatever
it to their wisdom. Let us not
True.
opinionate
Yes.
upon them. Yeah.
So the last question, Andy, I mean, this has been a great conversation. I have learned so much personally. I'm sure everybody will benefit from this. Could you please elaborate on the post-consecration rituals that are presently going on in the Kshetra, Andy?
So in order to understand the post consecration rituals, we need to understand what's happening in actually Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā. So we have this concept called Shariratrayam. So we have three shariras, that is three bodies. One is the Sthula Sharira, one is Sukshma Sharira, and the other one is Karana Sharira. So here we need to understand two shariras, the Sthula Sharira and the Sukshma Sharira. So the Sthula Sharira of the deity is the Dhruva bearer, the idol itself. So what are you doing? You're invoking your, if you actually once again go to the consecration video and see or understand or try to listen to the mantra that has been chanted while Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, is nothing but you are actually invoking or you are actually enforcing the constituents of the Sukshma Sharira into that particular idol. So what are those constituents of Sukshma Sharira? Those are Pancha Pranas, Pancha Jnanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, and Manas. So if you see the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, Prana Avahana mantra, which we call it as Hamsa mantra, is called as. So there, if you see, it is nothing but you are actually enter or placing these 16 or 15 constituents of the Linga Sharira into that particular. So you are actually personifying the deity.
Murti, yes.
So you are personifying the Murti. Until then, he was just an idol. Even I suppose the sculptor himself said that the prior to Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā and post the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, I don't think that this was the idol that I have created.
He looks alive, definitely.
Alive. So what are we doing in this Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā is actually invoking these 15 constituents of Linga Sharira into the deity, into the idol. So now he is no more an idol for us. He is the personified Rama for us. So we can talk to him. Yes. And he will answer. That is what we experience in our tradition, in our culture. Yes. So what is the significance of the post consecration rituals is, after doing a Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, the important thing that has to be done is a Mandala Diksha, 40 days or 48 days. So now what Pejavara Mathadhisha is actually doing under his guidance, it's happening. These 40 days, 40-day ritual will actually stabilize the prana or the deity over there, because you have invoked him. So it is upon you, it is upon the onus is upon us as bhaktas to see that the deity stays there. And there is a need for to maintain the prana shakti of the deity, because we are benefiting out of it. That means we are drawing the prana shakti for our benefits. So the more people engage in, the more people go and visit the temple, the more prana shakti is needed, because it is not a swayambhu. In swayambhu devatas, the deity, they themselves come in the form of normally in swayambhus, they are not in the form of murti rupa. So they're just like a linga or very minimal, this thing is seen. In swayambhus, the deity will sit there. But in the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā, wherever the Prāṇa Pratiṣṭhā is done, it is very much needed that you have to do, first you have to do the 40-day ritual in order to maintain, stabilize the Prana Shakti. And then a Nitya Upasana will be done, and a Varshika Upasana or an annual Upasana will also be done. That is n number of, because in order to actually invoke the deity, Annadhanam Chidambaram Shastri Garu has done 6 crore.
For the yantra, yes.
And other people have done their own bit, and they have all did that arpana into the deity, now into the idol. So it is now for us to maintain that. And at the same time, because it has to benefit people, it is not just a political or any stunt. We have to not see it as devotees. It's not for us like that.
Not like that. Yes.
So it is actually Rama himself staying there. So it is our duty to make him, stay him there, put him there and get benefit out of it. So that is what the post, whatever consecration rituals that are being done, that is to maintain the Prana Shakti that has been invoked.
Wonderful, Nandi. So thank you so much for your insights. We have learned so much, and may all of us have darshan at Ayodhya very soon. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you, Nandi.